voices behind the wall, uplifting the underdog. We fighting above the law.
Just gonna spill my pot. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, Killer. Hey, Mama Checking. Hey, Cheshire. Hey, Kim, Princess, ES. Oh, my guys. Okay. So our computer is still lost in transit. Or is it lost? No,
it's delayed.
It's delayed. Matthias, please. Okay. There's gonna be cat butt interfaces sometime. Okay. Okay. I'm like, where do I even start? Where do I even start? Let me see here. If you guys missed last night, I just actually maybe we should start with how my morning went, who I talked to. Yes, the SandMan, Tim Mullens. So
SandMan.
I thought it was weird. He was replying to me quite a bit today, and then it was before I heard there was that search going on. So I went directly. I have spoken to him on his Wells Media Management page one time before, and it was just one, like I said something, he responded, and that was the end of it. I think I actually blocked him. And then this morning I'm like, I'm just gonna reach out right to Tim Mullens and ask him what the heck, because his videos are leaving me with more questions than answers, really. And also some of the things he says is super weird. And I told him that. I was like, Tim, like, listen, do you think your videos are helpful, or do you think it's more distracting people? And I told him, I'm like, the things you say are off the wall. Like, they're weird. Like, it doesn't really go. I asked him several questions to which he would respond to me, but not quite answer the questions, wouldn't you say? I'm going to pull it up. You guys will have to pause the screen. I'm going to play the video that I've made that is not, it's private right now. But I'll play it so that you guys, it pulls up all of our conversation from today. Okay. Maybe that's, oh yeah, it's not this. Okay.
So this morning, I thought he's been up front with Donna.
Okay. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to read that.
We should go.
It's super blurry on the screen. Okay.
So this morning, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to reach out to Tim.
Okay. We're going to do like this. Hold on. Will you join from your phone to StreamYards?
Yep.
All right, guys, give me a second here. Can you guys see the screen fine? Is it only blurry for me? Kane says hi.
Hello.
Yeah, it's clear if you increase the quality of the video 720. Okay, so I'll just play the video and I'm going to mute. This is a video that I have will be posted to my channel. Only the members have got to see it today, so I think maybe 7 people actually saw this today. This is our conversation, me and Tim Mullens, at about, I think, 10 o'clock this morning. You guys can see the timestamp, but this is all from this morning while the search is happening for Summer.
So this morning, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to reach out to Tim Mullens. I have reached out to him one other time on the Wells Media Management account and thought, you know what, I'm just going to go to him personally. So, because his videos just leave so many questions, but, you know, I figured I'd at least go to the man and ask him instead of just talking about him. Let me go to the man. Maybe I'm getting something twisted, you know? Maybe he's just an eccentric kind of person, like most of us are, and we're understanding wrong. I'm not sure. Here's our conversation so far, which I assume he already knows I'm going to share. I said, you do realize what you say is adding even more confusion. Just talk about him.
Shit, sorry. I'm on the phone right now and it's hard, but I just want to really quick take this to say hello to Tim because it's obvious as you read these messages that he does watch this channel regularly. So hi, Tim, and I hope you will accept my offer. I think it would actually be very beneficial and helpful in the Summer Wells case. And you have a funny way of dodging questions. You're very good at it. Very good at it. But I did appreciate your time today, Tim. Thank you.
Account and thought, you know what, I'm just going to go to him personally. So, because his videos just leave so many questions, but, you know, I figured I'd at least go to the man and ask him instead of just talking about him. Let me go to the man. Maybe I'm getting something twisted, you know? Maybe he's just an eccentric kind of person, like most of us are, and we're understanding wrong. I'm not sure. Here's our conversation so far, which I assume he already knows I'm going to share. I said, you do realize what you say is adding even more confusion for people. You have an issue with me so badly, but I've always been upfront with Donald about what I thought happened from day one. Come on, Tim, let's sit down for an interview. I did unsend a message, which I was going to ask him to come on tonight, but I'm doing a complete different show. So I unsent the StreamYard link is all, because it's not even the same show I'm going to be doing. He did reply and said, hello, Cher. To this date, I have not heard one thing you have researched and spread on your channel about me that is true. I have no idea where you get your information. Even the video of some rabbit blowing up is not me. I will credit you with a vivid imagination. My videos are basically for the Wells and their children, but also they are for letting me remember back how this came about. Now, concerning Mr. McDonough, the shed was not based on the interview, which I initially really liked and posted on the website, but his immediate statements afterwards. I have nothing personally against that gentleman. My point was clear in the video of the proper place to use skill sets. I will never mention your name in the videos. I consider you the wife and a man, and it is not my style to get into debates with another man's wife. If I can help it, that is called respect. However, I still may refer to the YouTube creators, which would include you if it pops out of my babblings. These are unscripted videos. Overall, I am very boring, love local history, and retired. Run a free news site for Kingsport called Kingsport.me, Kingsport Free Media website, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. My first visit to Benhill Road, video 1, was for the news site. I did post them on Facebook of mine and knew so little of the family. I wrote Summer Cells instead of Wells. I would have changed it, but by that time I saw it after it appeared all over the internet. I decided to leave it, or those folks would turn it into a particular sign of guilt and new conspiracy. I didn't realize you had wrote that, Tim. Summer Cells instead of Summer Wells. That is typo, if there ever is one in a case to have a typo. But I didn't see that. I don't think a lot of people actually saw that article, Tim. That's interesting. And you left it alone because you were afraid that people would think that it made you look guilty to fix the typo. Okay, I'll be fair and I can see why you would think that. I could see why you would think that. To me, that's another red flag, Mr. Mullens, though. It's odd. So most all this is on my media manager Facebook page, but it appears that many folks simply do not read. Now that things have slowed down and the mainline media and entertainment companies have gone quiet, it has given me the calm to start going through the past 8 months, the evolution of news guide to website builder to media manager for the family at their request. I estimate a few more videos, and that should be clear to everyone that chooses to believe the truth, how it evolved. I have stayed away from most of the YouTube creators during these months after Don wanted me to step in fully. That is not my niche. I had and have to stay focused, working with the real mainline news and entertainment media. Professional organizations that speak to millions. YouTube has done great damage to people, but the big media can literally devour people, so that is who I dealt with. I recommend every family and Amber Alert situation find someone to build an information website for the family, and if they have no skills with the news media, find a friend to manage the news media for them that has at least a little experience with the industry. Professional news agencies require this if a family really wants to get the word out. And likewise, we are still working on getting the laws set up that stop the playing of private phone calls being shared without consent of all parties on the social media landscape. The videos, this is what I sent someone else about the simple style of videos I am doing. I want the boys in summer to learn the history of their area as they watch these. Hopefully the videos are boring enough to help the children see there was a normalness that was really going on all the time for helping find summer and restore their family. Normal people doing normal things in the real world, not the YouTube carnival Shark Tank. My spot is very simple, Cher. Help this family so they could grieve and struggle with the event without having to handle the massive amount of news agencies and entertainment companies that were contacting them. As you know, they didn't even know what YouTube, especially Don, who clearly was the epitome of vulnerability. I said, well, I don't believe that, because Candace had 2 YouTube channels prior, as well as many Facebook sites and also TikTok. And I can't find the channels now, but some of y'all have seen, like 2 years ago, like it was long before Summer got gone. She had YouTube channels. She didn't have very many. It was like 7 subscribers maybe. So they were actually, she did have YouTube channels before. She did know what YouTube was before. So that I don't really agree with. It could be that this is what Tim's belief is, though. I said, I don't believe that. Candace had 2 channels prior to Summer got gone, Tim. I said, and he said, I'm speaking of Dawn at the YouTube crime community, ma'am. So yeah, Dawn, I can believe that, but Candace knew exactly what was going on. I can believe Dawn didn't. And Tim, it does make me feel even more so like Dawn maybe doesn't know as much is going on as Candace does. I say, you say things in your current videos are a bit strange, no? Like possibly photographing Candace with the kids before? And he said, listen careful, please. I said, even the off-the-wall deer you found, it's weird to say, don't you think? Do you think you are helping, actually, or further confusing the situation and people? I'm genuinely asking, Tim. I said, if I find out I'm wrong, I'll be one of probably next to 0 who actually use the platforms to apologize, Tim. But if you are meaning to help them, it's causing more questions and confusion than answers, in my opinion, of course. I would love to have a civil discussion with you, and I mean that. And let me ask you this. Are you protective of the neighbors' possible involvement? And of course, I'm talking about Jody Sue and Baltimore, if anyone followed along last night. His reply, when you watch, that is your opinion and your imagination, Cher. Remember, I am making these for the boys in summer. We all hope to watch, or summer we all hope to watch. Think school teacher, not someone you have created in your own mind. There is no conspiracy about me. You have represented me wrong on all fronts. Your research is totally misguided. If I was mean, I could easily have hit you with charges of misrepresentation and character assassination, but for your sake, I didn't. I am constantly contacted in one form or another of false things that mostly all come from you. Thus, just partly because of your contribution, I put up the Media Manager Facebook page and nearly all answers. Well, shoot, I'm sorry, Tim. I didn't realize I was causing such a stir that I was the doing for you to put up a media page. My bad, I'm sorry. The videos will touch on some of it, maybe, but overall, it is pretty much meaningless to me and doesn't upset me to the least yet, except for the waste of time I have to take and answer some of these fine people who have been confused or belittled by YouTube creators' imaginations and very bad research. I said, why does Candace need another channel? Who is the owner of the Wells channel then? That's monetized channel, by the way. She should be able to pop up on that one. Have a bigger following on that one too. I asked, or as I said, if I find out I'm wrong, I'll apologize, Tim. I'm coming to you to ask these things for a purpose. If you want to interview with me, I will not monetize it, and that means turning super chats off for the show. Or I'll go on yours. But I think it would be beneficial for some answers from you. Offer is there, should you want it at all. Appreciate the time, Tim. I said, and he did go to write, not write, like reply and not reply, and didn't reply, so didn't end up replying. And I said, also, do you think McDonough was ever trying to actually help Candace? I don't think so. At least we can agree on that, I think. Now, he had brought up Chris McDonough. Which is weird. So I guess like between me and Chris McDonough, he felt like he needed to start the websites for misinformation, which is bizarre in my opinion, but okay, I mean, we'll go with that. So that's it for now. We'll see if he shall reply to this. And again, Tim, it stands if you want me to go on your channel, or if you would like me to send you a list of the questions that the people are very confused and saying, what the hell did he just say? I'll send them to you. Maybe you can just address them on one of your videos. But I do appreciate you taking the time, because it could be I guess I'm still confused by some of your answers, though. I really am, Tim. I am, but I do appreciate your time in answering them, but there's still, I'm not quite getting proper answers to my questions, if that makes any sense at all. You didn't tell me if you're pro the neighbor's involvement, Jody Sue in Baltimore, or at least his involvement or not. You didn't answer that. And it does seem a little bit like you're saying that Candace was more social media savvy than Dawn, and Dawn just is kind of dummied down to the situation, in my opinion. So I'm not sure. That's interesting, because the other message you sent me on the media messenger part is it says the same thing about how you want to be able to make the law to stop recordings of phone calls being out unless both parties consent, and I can understand that. That's fair enough. Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, so he's not answering questions really, is he? He's skirting around them in this weird fucking way. It's annoying, but he hasn't answered any questions. Who has the other YouTube page? Whose is it? He didn't answer that. He didn't answer, does he think that the neighbors are possibly involved? He hasn't really answered anything, including his weird things about talking about the smelling of decomposing bodies as he's walking in a field up to a dead deer. That's weird. How does that help? Well, I'm just letting the boys in summer know what's going on around them in the real world during all of this. How in the hell does any of that? Did they not grow up around that area? So they know what's around them. It doesn't make sense, Tim. No, no, not when we got Candace actually talking about having a script and everything. And okay, so things that stand out to me is right away now. 2 times I've interacted with the SandMan, aka Tim Mullens. Right away, it was about Chris McDonough. Now, who else do we know that made everything about Chris McDonough right off the bat, or when things didn't go his way? Donald Wells. Tim likes to talk very biblically. I'm wondering who exactly was teaching Don Wells. Tim sounds like Don Wells to me. White Rabbit! So I'm to blame for him getting involved, apparently, and becoming media management. I'm going to actually put a little blame on Chris McDonough as well. So between me and Chris McDonough, we are to blame for the SandMan's involvement, apparently, and for the Find Summer Wells website. Okay. Cool. Hey, Bella. Thank you, Hopeful. That thing with the deer carcass was effed up. Yeah, let's go over that. I kind of want to go over that because it's weird. Hopefully the computer will work. Now, White Rabbit, I know you want this whole, I've got everything down, trust me, but we might have to wait till we get the new computer for me to get like a real CSI board going for this, the ties into, I actually found so many in the Watts case too, but I for sure I want to, well, I guess I'll have to find it on here. What's this channel called, guys? No. Something else. Timor Media, got it. All right, so we're gonna go over his latest one. It's fucked up. I just sent it to you. Actually. Okay. Let's see how this looks. There you go. Pew. Okay.
I think we got some rain. I think we got some water. If anybody's thirsty. Awesome. Yeah. Ross Bridge ruins. Ross. That is the Rotherwood Mansion built by the Rosses. Mr. Ross, one of the founding people of this area. His daddy had owned thousands of acres here, and when he died,
Okay, so for the people who are interested in the readings by Reverend Donna, you know that she has seen red bricks and white pillars, which is everywhere in Tennessee. We know, but his videos to me have this very dark vibe to them, almost like I think he's putting shit in there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because his videos are just fucking weird. You said exactly what I was thinking right there. See? Okay, so anyway.
he came to check it out, and he
Hey,
made a
True
little
Crime
place
Dave.
called Rossville. Built the first bridge, not that one. Put a bridge across the river. Very historical. And
Don also said, what if someone rich took Summer?
the sentenced
Couple
Don
times, right?
is named Ross, Judge Ross. So I asked him, I said, are you related to these Rosses? And he said, no. I thought for a moment. But these Rosses had slaves at the time. Slaves took...
What the freak does this have to do with Summer? We're talking about slavery here now, guys. Why? Why?
His last name was Ross. Well, a few years back.
Okay, so we gotta whatever pause this for commentary for free use, whatever bullshit. But that's fine because almost every other word this man says, I'm like, what the fuck are you saying? Tim, your response to me was you were making these videos for the boys to watch what's currently going on around them. And slavery shouldn't be one of the things you mentioned. My legs won't, I can't, my legs are, I'm like, I want to go run somewhere right now. That is fucking annoying and weird. What are you doing, Tim? Again, as I told you personally, you're not helping. You're leaving more questions than answers. And for someone who doesn't like the narrative going off into whatever you called me, wild imaginations and shit, you sure feed into them.
Ross showed up to maybe buy this because it was empty at the time, to buy the Rotherwood estate. Decided not to. They came because their family was part of the slave family in this area. And her name is Diana Ross.
No.
Singer.
Are we name dropping a black celebrity and talking about slavery as well?
Because privacy matters, maybe, or a way to keep it safe. But Diana Ross. But that is called Rotherwood Mansion. In this same area is where one of the main Civil War battles of this area was fought. But this is the Holston River. There's a North Holston, a South Holston, and they join right here. The north is on my right. The South Holston is on the left. And this is the nice trail that's currently being washed. Real nice. I think we'll stop right here at the beach. This is absolutely beautiful in the springtime, so maybe we'll come back when we're on part whatever of these 8 months, 9 months, 8.5 months of so far of the missing of Summer Wells and my
Of the missing of the Summer Wells.
family meeting the family. How I went from just an invisible guy who was just trying to help them with a website to managing the main media for them.
What main media, though? Please tell me what main medium. Dr. Phil don't count.
Person.
What main media have they been on?
That was much too big to take on at the time. It needed help there. Needed a lot of help there, but my focus was the main media. However, we're not there yet. We're just at the building of the website, having not met the family, having only seen Candace in a parade, having met Robin different times, and she was kind of the connect.
Now, let's rewind to 2 videos before this, isn't it? Where he actually says, I may have met them. I may have photographed Candace with the children before. I might have, I may have, I don't know. Type bullshit. The way he's talking, guys, it doesn't make sense. And telling me he has to make these videos for him, but his memory seems so horrible. Like, it's so vague what he's even putting out there, what he's remembering. It's weird. Thank you, Rosie. It's weird, you guys. He's creepy. Tim, dude, you're creepy.
Connection to whether the family would want a website where they could post things.
Absolutely.
We got that started, but I still had not met
Muffin top.
the family. And so it was maybe within the week, they were having the prayer vigils.
I don't know, Cat.
And I felt, well, I should go. I'd already, for a few days, had saturated myself.
Hey, Seth.
Kind of in the case, you could say, reading it, posting it, putting up pictures of Summer, and you start getting connected to the family because they're giving you their intimate things to post, to put up.
Okay, you saw what that said. That's basically what he texted me, right? So the first picture I posted, June 22nd, part 1 of this video series, I accidentally wrote Summer Cells instead of Wells. That is how little I knew of the Wells family. That doesn't make sense. Just because your phone typoed from Cells and Wells, that's probably pretty freaking common. That doesn't mean that you don't know the family. So within you posting this, Tim Mullens, you're actually trying to create within this somewhat of like a, do I say alibi? You see what I'm saying? Like, Chris McDonough's interview from last night with the, I think his name is John, but his buddy that he has up that does the body language and like the lie from the lies to truth, like he reads between the lines of people saying, and he was pointing out how Candace had said to him, like, okay, well, when we got here, I got out of the car, and then she kept like adding things, and he was pointing out there was no real reason that she should even say that. Just like I said, there was no reason for her to say unless it happened. Like, I told Hunter he can't come back to the house with me. In the conversation that was happening, I never understood why those words came out of Candace's mouth. It didn't go along with what was being said at all. It was fucking weird. And yeah, Tim is doing that here by, well, one time I accidentally wrote Summer Cells instead of Wells, so I didn't know the family. He's actually within this creating some kind of like timeline alibi for him. Like, look at, I couldn't have known this. Just, 7 days after she got gone, I wrote cells instead of wells. No, I bet it was your phone was doing a typo or something like that. Are you kidding me? And in one of your previous videos, I swear, like you told on yourself by saying you were listening to YouTubians before Summer even got gone. So
Yeah, that whole summer well, summer cells thing being an accident or a typo.
Yeah.
No.
go on your phone right now, would you? Go to like text me, and what comes up first? If you go to type Summer Wells, does cells come up in a option for you?
No, if it's another for like summer school.
Yeah, well, this doesn't make sense. This is him distancing himself. It's very fucking weird, Tim. Let's keep going. Then I saw YouTube, and
Well, my
wow.
point was with that is it wasn't that he didn't know her name, because he wouldn't have thought her name was actually Summer Cells.
Right.
Like, that's what he was trying to pass it off.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I barely knew them, so I thought her name was Summer Cells. No, it was an accident. It was a typo.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't
Yeah.
think that her name was Summer Cells. No, I didn't know them at all, because I thought her name was actually Cells.
Yeah.
I don't buy that at all.
Yeah. So Tim, I mean, dude.
Because they're giving you their intimate things to post, to put up. So I really wanted to go to one of the prayer vigils, and I didn't know if they would be there or not. I thought they might. Also wanted to maybe get some pictures that I could put on the news site just to help keep Summer out there, because I could do that too. I had their website, but I could also put up news on the kingsport.me free media news site. Just keep her name out there.
Thank you, Annie.
I can put some things that the other media might not. So I wanted to go to the prayer vigil. They were having it at the park, one of the parks here, Borden Park. Seems like when it gets cold out here, my mouth freezes up. Temperatures dropped again. So that's at Borden Park. Ooh, that's a good piece of bamboo. That's what we use around here for fishing poles. It's a good size. Really good size. Oh, nice. Drop the good camera in the mud. Yeah, see? Good. Good fishing pole. Yeah. Put a little string on there. A couple worms. That thing's heavy. Yeah. Also makes an awesome spear. When we were little guys, we'd make spears. They throw good too. So the prayer vigil was at Borden Park. Maybe we'll zip up there in a little bit. And so I came to Borden Park. When you start working on a website with an intimate family's stuff, and then when you combine that with that it's a missing child case, and you combine that with
my gosh.
and you combine that with you don't know these people at all. You don't know if they're the rowdiest things. You don't know if they're evil, mean, wicked. You don't know if they're nice.
What are you doing, Tim Mullens?
If they did it, if they didn't do it. I mean, you don't know any of this. And just right up front, I didn't want to enter into that part of judging, or I guess what we call now getting into the case.
Why does he keep showing these?
I was just simply making a website so that they could post things and have a way to express themselves if they wanted to whatever extent they wanted to. I didn't know.
Thank you, Chemistry Queen.
So I went to the
he
first
still
prayer
does. Tammy, hello.
vigil at Borden Park. And I think the only person I would have, quote, known was Robin. Didn't really know her, but had communicated enough with her.
Oh.
And Candace was there. Candace Bly Wells, the mother. And that was her, the one that was carrying the banner.
Yeah.
In the parade.
The one you may have photographed before with her children prior to Summer's disappearance. Trust me, I mad reported you to TBI the other day because I can't ignore that chicken
I
money.
think it was already started when I got there. I might have taken a few pictures. I immediately could feel the vibe. You know, this was
What are we
late
doing?
July.
Why are we keep
So
showing
we're
these
closing in on a
places?
month and a half, and you know, I could already feel that protective hand that there were some there that were, they were eyeballing everybody, so you could kind of feel that. And I think the media was there then. I'm gonna have to go back and check that. I'm pretty sure it was, and so I was all very, very noticeable. When
Right, Brown Eye Girl.
I've just worked with media a lot through
Good
life.
deal, really.
So I was observing more than anything, just trying to get a feel for it. Because, I'd ventured in with this website and, there's this feeling like, should I even be doing this? Is this yay? Is this nay? Is this good? Is this bad? Is this just a whole bunch of insanity and craziness? Legit.
Come on.
There was a...
Make it make sense, everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, this is...
Make it make sense.
Legit. This is very real.
Be nice.
This is, quote, your neighbor. I mean, they weren't that far down the road, and their child's gone. We don't know what. We don't know how.
But then he says it's because of me.
I'm putting up all these pictures. This, this little girl. She's not a baby. She's a little girl. And, I'm thinking back of my sisters and my nieces and, those that are close to you in your heart. And so, you're going, yeah, it's valid to help. It's valid to help. It's helping your neighbor. It's just doing your little teeny piece that you can do. Something you're very familiar with that you can do. I mean, nobody had done it. I'd kind of watched and it wasn't happening. So it just seemed like that's the part I could play to help. But I still didn't know the people. I didn't know Candace. I didn't know Dawn. Only person I knew was Robin, and she was so happy in her personality, even though in struggles and emotion, but she still had a way of keeping that smile on her face. And so that was established, and she was friends with him. So I thought, okay, well, as they say, sometimes you can not judge a person, but you can look at their friends and kind of see a little something about them. So there at the prayer vigil, I can't remember if they started praying or they said, let's pray, but I just went over and stood next to...
Ken, what are you doing there?
To pray.
Shirt, bro.
Was the main reason. But then also just to see what her atmosphere was. I've been around enough people in life.
Anyone else really want to go into that mansion? Like, why are we focusing on this now 14 minutes into this video? We're focused on these two mansions here.
we prayed.
I'm gonna drive there and go knock on the
You're
doors.
trying
Can
to
I
grab
see
Pierce.
the black and white checker for us,
Child's
please?
disappeared. A billion miles past what, especially a man can feel. Men can't feel what mothers feel. Ever.
Weirdo.
This is the woman that carried the child, for
So,
9 months and all
said
that.
she's doing fucking great now, by the way.
Shit that develops even before the child's born.
Mm-hmm.
Then the child's there, then the child's gone. But I stood by her. It wasn't like
Children.
to somebody in a thousand unraveled emotions. That there was a solidity about her. There was something solid. Emotion, yeah, oh yeah. I mean, this woman was a month and a half drained of emotions.
Yes, thank you. Absolutely.
Tears. Yeah, there was some, but not much. She was drained. She was there. I don't know how to put that into words. I'll almost have to just look at my pictures and maybe catch a little of what it was like standing there beside her. I mean, by now there was still a daze about it, I guess, in her, kind of in a daze. But it'd been a month and a half, and they'd already been through a lot.
Right, Zena?
Been through a lot of the social media, a lot of the news media that sometimes would take what you say or bend it or tilt it or, that dramatic point that sells the story. That's just how it works. So she was just there, and the people were praying, and she was standing there. But people say, "Yeah, she's wicked." No, I sense nothing evil. I sense nothing wicked. There was nothing there that was that way at all.
That's funny. Okay. They should do that with Jody Sue's also, but someone just said that they should play Tim Mullens videos for like interrogations and criminals who confess for like wait. Yeah.
And I'm just said, been around enough to know, well, you don't just take one little thing and say, oh, okay, and make a decision. But that was just that moment.
What?
There was nothing bad at that moment. There was nothing that seemed like this was a horrible, evil woman.
Okay, in that moment, but was there other moments? And Tim,
Really,
I'm sorry, but I get bad energy just through a computer screen from you. Woo. Oh, are you holding your eyes to make it look like you're fighting back tears?
Back, I can see that. She was just exactly who she is.
What are we doing? Back to the gravestone again. From the mansion to the gravestone. From the mansion to the water. From the gravestone to the water. Back to the mansions. Back to the gravestone. Can we please talk about summer, Tim? What are we doing here?
Or it wasn't after that. Oh, that was it. I think I had already talked to Robin.
Do you remember now?
About the caution with the cameras.
Oh.
Because it was a hot case.
It was a hot case.
It doesn't matter how wonderful the person is. A news person is under the pressures of their own boss. I think one of the most famous lines everybody's taught is, well, we just have to ask. It's kind of like one of those catch cliche phrases. But there's just nice people. Nice newscasters.
Mama checking.
But they're taught somewhere between news and investigative reporting, and I'd already heard enough online
Mm.
to see that the whales just weren't geared. They weren't geared for that. They never worked with media, talked to
He
me.
won't answer that, Snow Angel. He won't answer who's paying him.
First big phases of
It's like he won't answer who's running the other channel.
creator, Dominion was like,
Mhm.
pretty close to already burn out with the media themselves. They don't like cameras in the face. And then when they would see the reports and the influence of that,
Thank you, Broken Dishes. Right? No, not the leader, but he's
Maybe it
definitely
was
the
that one.
player in this
Could've been the next
situation.
so if I get some of these switched, I'll try to correct it here on editing.
Oh, will you?
But that was when Robin, who I'd talked to, not quite enough, but I'd talked to her about the media that was there and some cautions that needed to be taken. Because the cameras never turned off. If you ever work with the media, always.
So every time he talks and brings up him talking to Robin, he always has to throw in there, I didn't talk to her much, but and he'll just bring it up casually, like, yeah, when I was talking to Robin, but then it's like he quick throws in there, but not very much. He wants us to keep fresh in our minds every time he brings it up that he hasn't really talked to her often, but just said he talks to her. You shouldn't have to say every freaking time you bring Robin's name up and talking to her, you shouldn't have to throw that in there, Tim. That's like deflecting, right? Mr. Cher's not even paying attention because Tim Mullens doesn't even make sense in his head.
Always know that when the story's over, the camera's still running and everybody relaxes.
Be Mama.
Try to get you with a question they really want to ask you. So things like that. And once again, this is just how it works. If you've ever worked in media, this is just how it works. And you got to have the dramatic punch because that's what sells the ads and brings the viewers. If you don't believe that or understand that, go check out YouTube and look at the stories, the crime stories that are full of drama and accusation and all those sorts of things that require Shakespearean actors to speak about. So it sounds very big. James Bond. And you'll have thousands of views. You put up just a good, solid, all-around truth, you'll have some. That's just how it works. That's why these videos I'm making, I'm really not making them. I'm making them for the boys. I'm making them for the family. I'm making it just for myself to sort everything.
What the freak? How is this good for the boys or the family? This doesn't even make sense.
You're not going to see that many views because they're not exciting.
It's like he's jealous of some of us YouTubians, right? He's like jealous of us.
Unless you set up an account and do all that.
And Tim, yes, that was your channel blowing up the bunny, by the way. I can point out all the editing.
Unless I've actually set it up monetary and name and money and bank account and however all that works. No. The only person making money would be YouTube. So I could have 1 billion subscribers, but if I don't monetize.
Listen, no, Tim. You're not monetized because you haven't hit the milestones yet, which is watch time hours. It is subscribers. There's milestones to meet. That's why you aren't monetized yet. So stop playing to your audience like you're putting out this and how kind of you, and you're getting nothing of this because you're not monetized yet. No, you're right. You're not, because your channel is new and you haven't hit the goals you have to hit to be a monetized channel. So stop acting like you're doing this out of the kindness of your heart and everything. And, oh, I'm a YouTuber that's not making money off of telling my shitty ass story that doesn't even answer anything and is not helpful for the boys, the family, or summer, or any fucking buddy but yourself, maybe. But you're so damn confused on everything. I don't even know how it's helpful for yourself, Tim. But stop acting like it's your choice not to monetize this shitty ass content, because it's not your choice. You haven't hit the milestones yet. But why are you putting it on here when you could have went on your Facebook management website? You could have done this. You could have went to all your media friends and done some kind of press conference or something and just got it out there. No, you've been trying for something like 13 years, my friend, because I found multiple YouTube channels to be a fucking YouTubian or whatever you call us. You're so jealous of us. It's disgusting.
Guys, I don't make a penny. And if ads pop up, that's YouTube. Because I'm a guest on YouTube's turf. It's not my channel. Just like Facebook. We're the guest on a corporate company who sets up something that we're able to use. It's not the real world. It's just what it is. So we discussed that, Robin. The one person I knew, but she was there and she's bubbly and lots of zeal and also hadn't worked with media. So I'd give her just, especially just standing right there. I said, be careful here. Don't do that. Watch out this way. You know, I just want to stay invisible. And the media was asking me, you know, who are you? Can we interview you? And no. And that's when Robin, in her wonderfulness to encourage and support, had her little talk with the flyers, and I'd asked her, I said, just let them know about the website if you would, that it's there. But
No, you can't. You tell it.
but please don't mention me, because I could just work quietly. I mean, I was just barely in this. I'll just quietly do the website for the family, And to count the rings, you can see how old the tree is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12. We'll say 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Real fast, 40, 50 years old. Beautiful wood. So Robin, not knowing me, she really didn't know me. She thought that was my business, I think, making websites or something. And so she wanted to promote me. So she says, you can go to the website. And Tim Mullen over here made it.
There's a website that's just been created. It's called findsummerwells.com. And it's going to have updated information on there. So we don't put this on there? Absolutely. Yes, Tim Mullen right there. He's the one that made it. He created the way he
Tim, and I was like, no, shh. That you see my little finger. It wasn't 007. It wasn't because I was the head of the SDA church or the Branch Davidians or, all these things that people prove.
Right, CSI. No. I don't recall thinking that. I actually just thought he was trying to stay silent for a reason, but I didn't really think that maybe it was maybe that was a planned and staged little event for him to display that. Hand sign, possibly, with look what all he's showing. And if you guys did watch my show last night with Altiyan Child, is that how you say it? Altiyan Child. he brings up, and everything that Tim is actually flashing in here, from the Confederate flag to everything, and I mean, he goes back. If you seriously, it's a 5-hour stream from last night. I would put that on if you're like cleaning the house or whatever and listen, and then watch, especially this video here tonight. Actually, it all fucking ties in. It all ties in. Let me see here. Pull this up really quick because where is it? Oh, well, I can't find it now. But oh, I know, I can. Let's see if this will work. Okay, hold on. Here we got Jody Sue's baby daddy. That's him circled. I don't know why you can't see the whole picture. Okay, but that's him in there. The 88, Kansas jersey, 688 Kingsport, Freemasonry. We got Tim showing all of the mansions and things. But this here circled, and I'm not sure why it won't click on it, does it? Enlarge it. Well, I mean, that's him. That's Jody Sue's baby daddy. So, oh, it is up there. Okay. All right. So, let's go back. Okay.
And I was like, no, shh. That you see my little finger. It wasn't 007. It wasn't because I was the head of the SDA church or the Branch Davidians or, you know, all these things that people proved were me. And they were every single one of them wrong. I don't know where they do their research. I could have found out who I was in about 10 seconds online. But anyway, I gave her the hush, shh, like, no. This isn't about me. No, this is not about me. This is about the Wells family and Summer. You don't need another face, another person. That's just how I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mix. I like being invisible.
But here you are on YouTube.
I've also been in the entertainment industry. I've been around all that too.
Yeah. He's been there.
The movie once, you know. It just comes with all that. But she said my name. And my little hush was just, it's no, it's not about me. And
sure, explaining something
her soul.
that needs no explaining for quite a while now.
I'm so sorry. And it was like, that's fine. But I knew the very split second she said it, it was going to be very impossible to stay invisible. – and just quietly do my little portion. And sure enough, the media came straight over and they wanted to interview, and they
Okay.
really wanted to interview then. And it's like, no. And then things just kind of kept unfolding. And I believe that was the time. I mean, they were wanting to talk to Candace. That's probably about the first time I stepped in. I walked over to Candace and I said, would you want to let them talk to you? And I think she said, no more. No more interviews or something like that. And I picked it up in a split second. Yeah, they're burnt. They are burnt. And they are burnt out with this digital world, this insane digital world. I mean, there used to be some dignity back in the early days when there were maybe 3 channels on the networks, 3 networks. But I could tell real fast she'd had enough of this stuff. And so that was like the first moment where I felt protective.
Okay.
So I let the media know.
I keep just
person, but I kind of had.
I feel like he might have just slipped there because he and then he threw in the media networks kind of after. And he was like, there was only like 3 channels or whatever. Is he talking about YouTube again? And then he was like, oh, on the medias. It's like, what? Guy is so weird. I want to stay, behind the scenes, but here I am making a YouTube channel.
To step in at that moment kind of as a spokesperson, and I was just watching all this unfold around me, and I realized, we need to get this out. So I went to Robin. I said, Robin, would you let them interview you, and you could tell them about the website. And she was reluctant at first, but then she would. And I saw right then, if I was building a news station, I would have hired her. I gave her about 2 sentences or 3, and she spoke in an absolutely beautiful, brilliant.
You coached her on a script and a narrative, what to say, how to act, and she was the perfect actor for you. Awesome. Thank you, Sam, for admitting that.
Because
so Robin was chosen to be the face for the interviews.
Take it and add it and put it verbally, and it's what you're looking for. I mean, if there was a spokesperson, Robin easily could have been in.
Yeah, he says Robin a lot, doesn't he?
He handled that. And it was very good, extremely good.
Oh,
I think it was with Erica out of Knoxville. I think that one was. I can't remember now because one of the local stations, I think the boys.
This is very boring for right now. We'll get back to that. Mountain Grill 212 is live. Let's go crash.
And, this is why I say at the end of the day, just, be very careful of, what you guys are doing, who you're sharing your story with, of being a victim. And, at the end of the day, it's okay to make a phone call and to try to get help, the proper help that you deserve. Because again, it was really an eye opener to hear her story. And like I said, when you're actually, present and listening to a person open up and share what they went through and what they suffered, you see that with your eyes. It's not like watching a video on YouTube. You see the peeled back layers of skin around their fingernails, where you can see that their nerves have been destroyed by what they have suffered. And when you see things like that, that is when it hits home. It lets you know and see that this is a real person. This is a person who has been traumatized. They have been a victim. They have been abused. And again, I think that when we hear these stories of,
Yeah.
okay, you tell a person leave the situation, just
Thank
because
you
they
for
leave
her
that
awareness.
situation, you guys, that does not mean that the mental aspects do not follow them. It does not catch up to them years later in life, because Kathleen's story was a fine definition of
Sure, you guys are
that actually
subscribed.
happening. And
Mountain Girl
and
212.
it's been rather hard. She said to me that,
Okay.
hey,
We're gonna get back to our Tim Mullens boring video. Darn it! Her voice is way more exciting.
At the home at that point, and you know, one of the
I
stations
heard that.
they'll ask questions and they'll slip in this and they'll ask 5 this way and then they'll shoot in number 6 and then they'll go back, but it's the number 6 that they're trying to get. And I think that was one when one of the stations took something she said, and you know, their headline was, you know, like Sunday school teacher spoke.
And actually, take 90 seconds, take whatever time you want, but if you go to Mountain Girl 212, if someone, Maligator, I gotta remod you. Okay, hold on. Thank you. I unmodded people for 24 hours. Where? Okay, there we go. Okay, if we can add Mountain Girl 212s, if you guys will just go like spam her chat with the purple hearts for domestic violence awareness, and just show her support for bringing the awareness. Let's go back there. I'm gonna watch this. I'm counting on y'all.
they cared
There's
about her
560
story,
people in here. Go drop some
that
purple hearts on Mountain Girl 212 chat.
maybe, you know, come on their panel or support or something, and somewhere down the line, you know, her get hurt mentally. And, you know, I thought to myself, that's just not going to happen. So she wanted badly to share her story.
Mountain Girl
So what I've been doing for the last
I see Jerry.
yesterday, many of you guys know I have been working on doing podcasts over on Spotify and a couple of other places. And I told her, I said, why don't you do this? I said, if you are comfortable, hi guys in chat, love all of you guys. I'm sorry. I'm reading comments, but much love to all of you guys. And really quick, Penny Armstrong, check your email. I need your cash app information, because I do.
Make sure you're subscribed, guys. Now, unfortunately, back to boring Tim Mullens.
It's like, whoa. So Robin real fast found out how you can go from just being yourself and trying to honestly answer a question, and you are presented completely what you do not want presented.
Oh, I think so, Brown Eyed Girl. Or Brown Eyes Blue.
You just kind of have to, you see how each announcer, each news person does it, how each station does it, how they edit it. Sometimes it's not the news person, sometimes it's the editing. There's just more to it before they put it on their stations. And you know, Robin learned fast, and it's one of those things you're always learning, because you just don't know what you might do, how you might.
Okay, no, hold on.
And they'll sneak in, and when they sneak in,
she said I asked for the address for Dawn, and she's right, I did, but that was never hidden. She wasn't saying anything that was ever hidden. We've actually we were talking about that on her live stream, so it was actually live. And I said on her live, I was like, send me the address, I'll fucking write them, because I'd already said that I would write them anyways. To be honest, he's probably wishing he memorized my phone number. I know he was trying to, because Candace found it and had one of her friends call me when she found that he was writing my phone number on things to try to memorize it. So I don't think that was anything, right? I mean, there's nothing there. She's right. I asked for his address, but that was never, I don't have anything to hide. Yeah.
That's not a secret. That's not bad of her to say. I don't say things to people that I don't expect to get out on the internet. So, why are they not? That's a good question, Malgator. Yeah, it's been very weird, isn't it? It's very weird.
Get in before the interview, during the interview, or after it's over.
Yeah, he seems smitten, doesn't he? Robin. We could play a drinking game to win this video. Every time he says Robin, take a shot.
These are skills. Once again, it's a skill set.
Oh, yes. Yes.
This case always is different.
Incognito potato. Is she in chat?
So the
Can
rules.
you say something in chat, potato?
Switch cameras. The rules are there, but at the same time, it has to be changed. This is not just a story. This isn't just your standard thing that's happening and you have certain ways and you got to get your information out of the politician, or you've got to find out exactly, did you burn your house down? Whatever those kind of stories. This was missing case. This was a devastation of a family in a situation that was having no answers yet. So that made a slight problem, you might say, in the case of, well, let's not say problem. Let's say.
Well, you just said problem. Hold on, I want to do something really quick here. No, that's not right. Author would mention. Turn on this. Oh. Yeah. I'm gonna find the mansion, yeah. I got into, oh, there we go. I'm not good at Google mapping, guys. Where is that mansion now? So he's like in here. No, we're in the wrong way, huh? Oh, is that Dawn? let's look. Hold on. Where'd that truck go? I've gone too far. Damn it, Dawn! Just kidding. Did it pass it again now? This is why Cher can't Google Maps. Okay, there we go. How did no? Oh yeah, because he has 2 doors, huh? Yeah. I'm just having fun, you guys. Okay. Okay.
this was a learning curve. Look,
We'll go back to that. Let's
flood
go
run
from
in
this.
the trash. That's
We're
what
gonna
floods
find that
do.
dang mansion.
But that's what rivers are for. They wash out all the trash.
Donna.
The learning curve issue on this case, and this was very, I want to say this the right way because it's not jabbing any of the news producers or the interviewers, and that is that most local type stations hire young ladies fresh out of college, a few years experience, to, you know, be the very pretty newscasting lady. The learning curve part is that they are young and many times haven't been married yet, many times haven't had children yet.
Why does that come on,
And
Tim? It's
so
weird.
Experience
Ugh.
of a woman, what it's like to carry a child, what it's like to lose a child,
All right, that's just
don't have
inappropriate talking.
having been a mother themselves yet.
Tim,
But when you're in the work atmosphere,
you guys, he's so inappropriate. It's not even funny. Tim Mullens, you cannot be talking about women like that. It's not appropriate for some strange man to be talking about that. It's very disturbing, to be honest with you. Pretty disturbing. All right, let's check this out here. Why not? White pillars, like Reverend Donna talks about. Hey, squids. Huh. Well, there's not much on that one. Not much on that one, though. He's right up over here. That mansion he's pointing to, is it haunted? Right, hey, Jude. What is this? So that mansion is haunted. Tri-Cities Tales from Kingsport, Rotherwood Mansion. Kingsport, Tennessee. I've always loved old houses, she said. Always. Okay, is there... There was just videos, I think. Let's see if we can get it. Oh, wow. Okay. 4 months ago. 4 months ago, this article. October 29th, 2021. Posted. Oh, okay, so that's not. Yeah. Good. Kingsport, Tennessee. Dr. Lenita Seibolt had a dream as a young girl to own a big old house. I've always loved old houses, she said. They're always been a fascination to me. We visited them a lot when I was a child. 30 years ago, while visiting the area, she caught a glimpse of Rotherwood Mansion. I saw it briefly on real estate tour as I was driving by, she said. Soon after, Diebel accepted a position as a physician in Kingsport. When she did, she knew Rotherwood had to be hers. Over the last 3 decades, she had not only made her house her home, but studied the property's rich history. We know this house was built in 3 parts. The north third of the house was built in 1818. The south third of the house, parallel, was built about 1820, and they were joined about 1845, she said. Along with the history comes a few haunting tales. There were stories of ghosts, of course, that they had to tell me about before I bought the house, she said. That was required by law. So these hauntings that happened at this mansion were so bad that it's required by law, which some places do have that law. If there are haunting reportings, you do have to tell the seller. A lot of people don't, though. So that's interesting. I think I would have been disappointed if there hadn't been ghost stories associated with the house. There are many stories that tell of hellhounds, wailing voices, and evil laughter, but Thibault says those stories are just that, and they're just stories. Oh, don't twirl. I've not had anything that definitely says to me that this is ghost, she said. One of the more popular stories is that of a lady in white who walks the grounds at night. The legend states the ghostly figure is the daughter of the original owner of the house, Rowena, the oldest child of Reverend F.A. Ross. Did have a troubled life, but Thibault says the woman never lived in the house. I don't think Rowena is the ghost, but whether there is another lady in white, that's a possibility, she said. But her favorite spooky story includes Rowena's first fiance who drowned in the Holston River before they could be married, and wet footprints that lead up the steps to the front door. I remember this story. I think the Ghost Adventures crew actually went here and covered those. I think. To me, yes, that seems more historically accurate. It could be the fiance that actually drowned in the river looking for his lost love, she said. Frankly, if I'm going to have a ghost, I kind of want a male one, she laughed. I think it would be neat. She said she has never seen any footprints or figures in or around the house. In fact, she considered herself a bit of a ghost skeptic. Considers herself. There are things that happen that I think are explainable, and if someone is inclined to think that it's ghosts, they may say so, she said. To me, it's just the creaks, groanings, and noises of an old house that are there. But I do admit that the first night I stayed in this house, I did announce rather loudly that if there were any ghosts, they were welcome to stay, as long as they left me alone. I would leave them alone, she said. It is a pact that perhaps has lasted for 3 decades. Maybe that's why they have me live here in peace for 30 years so far, she said with a smile. So, this is the house he keeps showing us in reference to summer walls. So, okay, hold on. Let me see. We can... Where is it from?
If you are a content creator, you really need to start using Artlist, a royalty-free music and sound effects licensing platform.
Tyler, thank you. Our next stop in the Haunted Tri-Cities tour takes us to Kingsport and the banks of the Holston River, specifically to the beautiful Rotherwood.
So he's right over in here, right? He's right over in here filming this whole video about Summer right here. And we got Don texting me and Mrs. Cher saying somebody rich probably got Summer. Somebody rich took Summer. And we got Tim over here, freaking PR manager, filming nonstop over here. So yeah, we're going down this rabbit hole now.
Rotherwood Mansion. News Channel
White
11.
Rabbit, you'll see where I'm going with this, right?
At the grounds and talks
See
to the home's longtime owner about the spooky history.
I'm not watching chat very well.
Built in the 19th century, the Rotherwood Mansion has stood for more than 200 years, and with it comes a rich history and a few haunting tales.
Good night, Mr. Positive. Have a good dinner.
Dr. Lenita Tebow is a practicing physician in Kingsport, the owner of the house and a historian of all things Rotherwood.
We know that this house was built in 3 parts, that the north third of the house was built about 1818, the south third of the house, parallel, was built about 1820, and then they were joined around 1845.
The mansion and its guest house are the only homes she's known for 30 years now. She bought it without taking a single visit, but not without hearing some of the spooky stories.
I think I would have been disappointed if there hadn't been ghost stories associated with the house.
One of the popular stories is that of a lady in white who walks the grounds at night. Legend has it it's the original owner, F.A. Ross's daughter, Rowena. Although Rowena had a troubled life, Tebow says she never even lived in the house.
I don't think Rowena is the ghost, but whether there's another lady in white, that's a possibility.
Tebow's favorite story includes Rowena's first fiancé, who drowned in the Holston River before they could be married, and wet footprints leading up the steps to the front door.
To me, yes, that seems more historically accurate. That could be the fiancé who actually drowned in the river, come looking for his lost love as well.
Tebow says she's never seen any footprints or figures and is a bit of a ghost skeptic.
But I do admit that the first night I stayed in this house, I did announce rather loudly that if there were any ghosts, they were welcome to stay. As long as they left me alone, I would leave them alone.
A pact that perhaps has held for 3 decades.
Well, okie dokie then. Ooh. Kingsport Historic Places.
So this is such an important part of Kingsport from the beginnings, and will you just tell us some more about it? Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. I'm going to start with reading just a brief story, and it'll be obvious why in a bit. A few said the house was cursed. Many more knew it was haunted. Cursed because the 2 previous owners had died shortly after buying it. Haunted because, well, there the stories are myriad. The young girl must have been born loving big old houses, as she could never remember a time that she didn't. She certainly had never lived in one, coming from a loving but poor family. There had been a big, beautiful old house on the other side of the little country town in the south where she grew up, and she often played there with her friends. It had wonderful, huge rooms with high ceilings and a magnificent central grand staircase that halfway up divided to the left and to the right. Stained glass in the window at the landing beamed a kaleidoscope of colors, which changed hourly as the sun moved. Rooms and cubby holes were everywhere, making her feel as though she was playing in a giant old roll-top desk, with nooks and crannies and secret hiding places everywhere. And on vacations, the young girl and her family often visited historic places.
Weird.
She traveled in the old homes and dreamed of someday maybe living in one herself. As she grew older, the dream never faded, yet it never seemed to come closer either. She discovered that one of her brothers shared her dream, and they used to talk of maybe someday, sometime, sharing in the restoration of one of those magnificent old houses. She even cross-stitched who could possibly, and that was my submission. So that gives you some idea of where things are, where my mindset is. Just got a few notes here so I can forget. A lot of people ask, well, how'd you get to Kingsport? How'd you know about the place? This was 26 years ago, no Google thing. So how'd you find out about it? And as Gail alluded, I was military, paid my way through medical school, and then owned my soul for a few years, and my last duty station was in Alaska. And when I knew I was going to be getting military, paid my way through medical school, and then owned my soul for a few years, and my last duty station was in Alaska. And when I knew I was going to be getting out of the military, I contacted basically a headhunter agency that did placements for physicians, just to kind of see what was available. I wasn't exactly sure when I was getting out, because that was the time.
Headhunter agency is something that's used for model finding.
I was coming to, or coming
I've never heard that used in
1990, and the headhunter agency had these other places.
Headhunter is used a lot in model.
And I knew I wanted to be preferably in the South, Southeast, East, lower East, not the New England, because I am Southern. And I actually thought I wanted to be in a bigger city, Nashville, Atlanta.
Right, there's the white.
Place near Williamsburg because of the historic.
I caught that too, Leslie. Good catch.
I was looking more because I like symphony and opera.
Okay, is she just gonna stand here for almost an hour and talk to these people?
Okay, I'll get back with you. Let me know.
I'm just wondering, does she tour the house at all? Oh,
Did a lot of that. We did redo the first.
Okay, that's all right. We'll bear through it.
There was this house, this third of the house was a
I
separate.
am speeding up the speed though.
20. In fact, one reason the walls are so thick, this used to be an outside brick wall. And then they were joined.
Where's the blue?
So you had two separate buildings there, and they were joined. And that's when they were joined. Wedding present for
get to cigar.
My initial thought was Kingsport. We want to go to Kingsport. I sort of, and grown up in Little Rock, Arkansas. I did go to graduate work at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore. Lived in Frederick, Maryland. So trips home, Bristol particularly, I knew it fairly well. But anyway, it was kind of like it's kind of a small town. I'm not sure, but I thought, well, it's a free trip. Who cares? I'll go at least can talk to them. Paint that had kind of accumulated in the lattice, because you lost a lot of the detail of the lattice work because of the lots of paint that were in there. So, and that was a kind of fun project for me to do.
Oh shit, I was talking to you and I was muted. Okay. So the computer is frozen, you guys. As I was bringing up that specific area in the mansions and Masonic halls, and now the computer's fucking frozen, which that's whatever. But we got through what we could. We're gonna continue this on tomorrow. This is kind of how my brain works. When I see one thing and I think I'm like, oh, and I go clicking off and looking into it and seeing what I can. But see, he's so weird and creepy, Tim Mullens, with his videos, that I wonder if he's not putting shit in front of our faces for reasons, like, I don't know. I could be completely off here, but you know that I'm into my conspiracy theories. Don has talked about this being a huge conspiracy theory. He's talked about somebody rich taking his daughter. He's talked about his daughter being trafficked, and he's even talked about Donna's snuff films and all of that. So, I mean, I don't think it's wrong of me for going down these rabbit holes with y'all. So we'll get back to this tomorrow because our computer is shot to shit now. So thank you so much, everyone, for the super chats and everyone for hanging. I would really go back because you're slowly seeing how I'm kind of putting some things tying together. I wish the computer wasn't frozen because I would actually pull up Adeline's email. I'm just gonna call him Alt from now on. But go to my community posts because I posted them last night, and go back to last night's 5-hour live if you would, put it on speed or just even browse through it and pick up what you may from it. Yeah, there was a lot more I have to show you that I wanted to pull up, but I'm not going to be able to. So with that, have a good night, everyone. Love y'all. Thanks for hanging. And Tim Mullens, my dude, you're just confusing people further. And I think you know that, though. I think you know that. So